Y'all thought I was dead. So did I.
Rip.
I'm back from the grave. Welcome to Ada Continues episode 300. What? That's 3 and 2 zeros coming at you right now. This is a podcast, What's Up, on Mondays, in which we talk about video games and related topics. And I am your host, Stafa. This week on this special episode 300, I have Kevin.
Hello, how's it going?
Great. And we have a sick Ollie over here.
I smell like menthol.
Perfect. I wouldn't expect you to smell any other way.
Oh, okay.
Um, This week's segments will include our main topic, which is the Game Awards, the Jeff Keighley's. And yes, the Jeff Keighley Awards. And some quick announcements and some news. So, disclaimer real quick, all opinions expressed on the show are of our own and not of our employers, past, present, or future. And I want to also quickly apologize for 2 weeks of no podcasts. I've been posting on Facebook and Twitter that, next week is episode 300. Sorry, next week is episode 300. And now it's episode 300. So it seems like there was some scheduling conflicts with people. A lot of people were taking holidays, and I don't want to record by myself. So we're doing it now. We're doing it live. And so let's talk about the Jeff Keighley's. I got to meet him, kind of. I stamped his parking.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. Yeah, without me, he would not have been able to leave the parking lot.
Well, why'd you let him leave?
Well, he looked like he wanted to leave. I was like, okay, all right.
Ruined.
Yep. So let me find the list. There we go. Here is the news, or at least the Jeff Keighley Award. So, should I share this screen? I think I should. Might as well. I mean, it has some images. I'll screen share this, and there we go. So, Game Awards. Here are the categories, starting with the biggest first, and that is the Game of the Year by the Jeff Keighley's. And they have like a panel of judges that are made up of like editors and reviewers from major publications like GameSpot, IGN, Giant Bomb, so on and so on. I don't know, maybe some other people who aren't in those. But so anyways, according to the judges, the Game of the Year is out of Zelda, Mario Odyssey, PUBG, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. It went to Zelda. And I mean, like,
It's me, Zelda.
yeah. I also want to mention that like Zelda won a ton of awards. Like it just like cleaned house pretty much. I haven't played Zelda yet, and Kevin, I can't remember. Did you say you didn't play Zelda yet either, right?
Nope, not yet. I
You
will
haven't.
eventually.
Yeah, I don't think any of us have Switches.
Yeah, I know. I remember when it came out. It came out at the same time as Horizon Zero Dawn, and like it seemed like everyone was either talking about one of these games, and they were both like open world games. And people are like, oh, this is the best open world game. No, this is the best open world game. And apparently, the judges say that it's Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. So I personally, I have conquered Breath of the Wild. I went to the restroom and brushed my teeth and used mouthwash.
Congrats, Stafa.
No more Breath of the Wild for me.
That's rank. That's real rank, son.
To be honest, I was expecting. I mean, I was surprised that this Zelda won because from what I'm hearing from other people or like just people in general, it sounds like Mario Odyssey or PUBG are like the favorites.
Well, a lot of people like PUBG, like including myself, but it's an unfinished game that is super buggy and doesn't have the content to back it up
Yeah, and I mean they're releasing 1.0 this month.
in 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days from this recording, and I mean it's like you said, it's still really buggy. They only have at the moment one map, and they're going to release more.
Yeah.
Like the desert map is in the test stage right now,
I got
so
PUBG, but I haven't played it yet.
it's actually kind of fun. And despite the bugs, it is an enjoyable game.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I agree with it being a part of the nominations yet. Although it is the most popular game of all time, pretty much. Like in regards to
Yeah.
concurrent players.
I think it's funny because in the awards they were doing like the music soundtracks to the games, and then I feel like for PUBG they just started playing random music because the game doesn't have a soundtrack. It just has like an intro song, like a menu song. There's nothing else for it. So
Yeah.
they were just playing some random music I've never heard before. I was like, "What is this?"
I think it's in a strange space because, like I was saying, it's the most popular game, but as you were saying, it's still unfinished and buggy. So it's a really strange position to be. But I mean, congrats to Zelda for
Yeah.
getting it. But,
This only highlights, to be honest, how great of a year it was for video
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, like
like
looking at
Horizon.
like I mean, look at like all the games that have been nominated for all the awards. Like all of them look like really good games.
Yeah, they're all really good games. Like Horizon was in that awkward space of like it was nominated for basically every category, but it didn't win any category.
yeah,
It's it's just like every single category they listed, like Horizon was on there. Well, almost every single one of them, but then it didn't win any of them.
Dude,
But it's
that's gotta be like so sad for the developers, Guerrilla Games, because I'm pretty sure they're super stoked that it got nominated for all these
I mean,
categories, but
it
then
was nominated in more categories than Legend of Zelda was in categories, though. So, I mean, like that is an achievement in itself. Just to say, hey, like it might not. I mean, like I said, this year is amazing for games.
Mhm.
So, like being put up with games that do something slightly better than you, but like the game that beat it out was in just that category alone or something
Yeah.
like that. Well,
At least
Horizon was in all of these other categories.
yeah. They can't feel too bad because they got beat by Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean, like if anything, a lot of developers they see that as a compliment that my game stood next to Nintendo.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean I totally agree with you. I mean I didn't play a lot of games this year, didn't have time, but like a lot of really good games did come out this year from what I've seen. Um but yeah, congrats to Zelda and
Congrats to all the developers and gamers, all gamers. It's a some people would say this is the best time to be playing video games.
yeah.
yeah.
Ollie, we should be playing PUBG.
Okay.
I got it. Haven't played it yet.
Okay.
All right. Best game direction, which this says awarded to Game Studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction design. So like from I haven't I mean I got Wolfenstein 2. I haven't played it yet, but from everything I've heard about it, it sounds like the only thing really good about it is the story and not the actual gameplay. So it makes me wonder why this is in here since when you say game direction and design, that's like game design, not like artistic design.
Yeah.
So that makes me question why Wolfenstein 2 is in here. Um, from
The
everything I've heard
people
about it.
people make it sound like it was good, but it was just flawed in different ways.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people complain about how difficult it was, just, because the amount of damage that you take and stuff like that. If they fixed that, probably the rest of the game would probably be
Well,
fine.
also I've been hearing that like compared to the first game, or sorry, the first Wolfenstein by Machine Games, which was the New Order, uh, like you can basically stealth most of those missions. Uh, you can try to sneak around and take out the guards while they're patrolling. And in this one, it seems that people are saying that the guards don't seem like they're positioned well. They're in positions that makes it impossible to sneak around because
Oh,
if you
okay.
try to sneak behind one person,
Yeah,
then like
another one will see you.
yeah, two other guards will see you.
Yeah.
So it makes the stealth impossible to do. And just design wise, it doesn't seem to be as good of a game. And that most of the focus has been on the story rather than the gameplay.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I'm still looking forward to playing it. I bought it. I got it on Black Friday. It was pretty cheap. It was like $15.
Yeah,
So
I picked it up around that time as well. Still haven't
yeah.
played it.
But it went to Legend of Zelda. The other nominees being Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, which one of my coworkers, one of the level builders at work, he will not stop talking about this game. He loves it so much. Um, Super Mario Odyssey, and Horizon Zero Dawn. So
Yeah.
basically a repeat of Game of the Year, except switch out PUBG and Persona with Wolfenstein and Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Best narrative. So I own all of these games right now, and I haven't put I haven't beat any of them yet. What Remains of
The
Edith
worst.
Finch, Near Automata, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Wolfenstein 2, Horizon Zero Dawn. Like I got Edith Finch and Hellblade like a couple days ago because they're on sale due to them winning game awards. So I was like, oh, I'll pick these up. And Near Automata I bought a little bit ago, and these two games I got during Black Friday. So, uh, yeah, I haven't played any of these games. I played like I don't know 4 hours of Near Automata and 30 minutes of Hellblade. Um, Ali, you beat Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes, I did. I beat it and the DLC.
Have you
Oh,
played
nice.
What Remains of Edith Finch?
No, I haven't played any of the other games. I really want to, though.
Uh,
Next big sale, I'll probably buy most of those, if not all.
so What Remains of Edith Finch is made by Giant Sparrow, who previously made The Unfinished Swan, which was an amazing game. Um, and so it's no surprise to me. Oh, I didn't even know that this game existed until I saw it nominated on here. I didn't even know it came out, but the fact that Giant Sparrow has a game that came out this year, and I really like their previous work, is a pleasant surprise. That oh, I can pick up their new game. So I picked it up. Um, I had a coworker tell me about it. He said he loved it. Uh, he said basically it's he said it's similar to the movie Big Fish. Have you guys watched that movie?
I
Nope.
haven't.
Oh, Big Fish is like about a guy who's like on his deathbed telling stories about when he was younger, and he like over exaggerated it all.
Hmm.
And um he said similar to that, where it's like but rather than like one person's story, it's like a bunch of people's stories, and they're I guess they're supposed to be over exaggerated or something, but um it sounds neat. But yeah, I look forward to playing all these games one day. Best art direction goes to Cuphead. Other nominees being Destiny 2, Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn.
I think
Destiny 2 looks
Cuphead.
good, but I don't think it should be on that list.
Yeah, because there's nothing super unique about it. I mean,
Yeah,
there are some planets. There was one in particular that I thought looked really cool. I forgot what it's called, but
Yeah, I was surprised that Destiny 2 was on here.
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, graphics look good, like I said, but nothing stood out to me. The rest of those, on the other hand, they all have like something unique or you
Yeah.
know, like
Horizon Zero Dawn looks amazing in 4K HDR.
you saw it in 4K HDR.
Yes.
Oh man, I want to see it
Like
in 4K
uh
HDR.
one of the same level builder who like talked about Resident Evil, he invited us over for a friendsgiving, and he has a 4K TV, and he was showing us Horizon Zero Dawn, and that grass looked pretty good. I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but I was genuinely impressed by how good looking that grass looked.
The game in general, like even like I got a PS4 Pro after I started playing that game, but like the game looks good regardless of what you play it on. So, and I remember like Jeff Chrisman saying that Horizon looked amazing in 4K HDR or whatever, and I'm like, man, I can't imagine it looking better than it already does.
It looks pretty good. Moving on.
Yep. Yep.
Best score, Nier Automata, Destiny 2, Cuphead, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, Persona 5. It's like a repeat of the same nominees we've been
I
seeing
don't
already.
I don't remember anything from Destiny 2.
Hmm.
Like I played the whole game and there's nothing that stood out to me in terms of music.
Hmm.
And like Horizon, it has like I remember a lot of it. I don't know. It's then again I played a lot more of Horizon. I played like 80 hours of it, so that could
I played like 4 hours of Nier Automata, and the music, while it was pretty good, I found it to be distracting because it was like actual music. It wasn't like background music. It was like there was singing and like Japanese lyrics, and I was like, man, this sounds a bit distracting.
yeah,
Calm
when you
down.
when you put vocals in a game, it could be very vocals are is something that's, foreground, not background.
Yeah, like I
Mhm.
was just running around the world, and like I hear some Japanese woman singing, and I'm like, "Wha- chill. You're at a 10, bring it down to a 2." But I mean, like I said, it was good music. It wasn't bad, but it was just a bit too much. Um Best audio design. So the difference between this and music is that audio design is in-game audio and sound design. Goes to Hellblade, Destiny 2, Resident Evil 7, Legend of Zelda, Mario Odyssey. Again, like repeats of games we've seen already in the previous categories, and it goes to Hellblade. I played like 30 minutes of this, and I feel like I made a mistake of getting it on PS4, and I should have probably got it on PC so I could play with headphones because as you're playing the game, like Sanoa, the main character, like I think she has schizophrenia or something, so she has like a ton of voices talking to her at all times,
Mm.
and like there'd be like five voices talking to her at once, and I'm pretty sure if I had headphones, it'd probably be better since I. I'm assuming you'd probably be able to hear the voices from different directions. Um,
Plug in your headphones into the controller.
Oh, would
You
that
could,
take away? Would that like put the audio on the headphones rather than
yeah,
the
you
TV?
could if you go to hold the PlayStation button, go to accessories and whatever hardware and accessories or something like that,
Okay,
and you could output all the sound to the headphones.
but yeah, I mean, like the fact that they do that is pretty interesting. It's like, um, she's walking around, and then she stops, and then like all these voices are like yelling at her, and then she starts screaming, and it's crazy. Moving on.
It's crazy, dog.
Yep, it's crazy. So, best performance. And I like the fact that they made this one category instead of two, because previous years it would be like two categories: best male performance, best female performance. Like, why does that have to be split?
Yeah.
So now they made it one category, and probably because they only had one male to nominate. Um, the winner goes to, I'm not gonna say her name, Melina J,
Jer-
who plays as
Jerkins?
Senua,
I think it's Jurgens, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's what I was thinking.
Who played as Senua in Hellblade, and the other nominees are we got two of them from Uncharted Lost Legacy. We got BJ from Wolfenstein, and we got Aloy,
Aloy.
Aloy from Horizon
Ash.
Zero Dawn. Games for Impact. These are games that have a message in it.
Social
Uh,
commentary.
yeah, social commentary. So Hellblade is I know both Hellblade and Night in the Living Woods are mental illness, but they're different. Like, one is schizophrenia. I don't know what Night in the Woods is. Um, I just know it's mental illness. Please knock on my door. Have no idea what that is. Uh, Life is Strange Before the Storm. Not sure what that is other than being a teenager. Bury Me, My Love. This is an a mobile game. I bought this. It was like $3, and it's about Syrian refugees, and it's actually pretty interesting. Have you guys heard of Bury Me, My Love?
I've heard of it. I haven't. I've been wanting to download it, but I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I don't think I've even heard of it.
Like, I was listening to Giant Beastcast talk about it, and so I got it. It was only $3, and basically, it's like you're playing through. It's not even playing; it's more like an interactive story. It's from the perspective of uh, a husband who is sending his wife to go to the airport so that she can leave Syria, because they're refugees, and she's trying to get to Europe, and they're texting back and forth. So the entire game is like text messages, and it's like it's designed to look like they're sending text back and forth, and sometimes you have choices to you know different dialogue choices, and sometimes you have emoji choices. Um, and every once in a while she'll send pictures, and every once in a while I'll allow you to take a selfie of your character to her. And I mean, basically, I haven't gone through the whole thing yet, but basically, like, the story keeps getting or the situation keeps getting worse. It's supposed to, like, portray you know people trying to get out of war, and uh just portraying how difficult that is because the situation keeps getting worse. So it's pretty interesting. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet, but it was only $3, so I was like, might as well. I definitely recommend it for what I've seen so far. And but yeah, the winner goes to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Great looking game, made by like 12 people. Best ongoing game, so games that have been continuously getting updates. Doesn't have to be a game that came out this year. Overwatch, Warframe. Warframe has been out for a while and still getting updates.
Can't
Rainbow
stop, won't
Six,
stop.
yeah, Rainbow Six Siege, which I'm hearing a lot of great things. Seems that people who play this really love Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah, Rainbow
Um,
Six is great.
I just got an update like this month, I think.
yeah, and I think they just made an announcement recently about like the next 3 years or something like that.
Yeah,
Um,
Ubisoft's been pretty good about that.
Grand Theft Auto Online, Destiny 2, PUBG, which is still a work in progress, and winner goes to Overwatch, which is a game that I quit playing, but
I
that
still play it.
not because of it being a bad game, but I've stopped playing it because it's either I'm with friends and we end up going against better players because we're queued up together, or I'm solo queuing and I'm going or I'm teamed up with people who don't want to work together. So I end up quitting playing Overwatch. It's like, hey guys, would be really nice if we have a tank
Nope.
in our team. How
Need
about you
Genji, Hanzo,
change?
Widow.
How about you change? Well,
Agree.
I'm Lucio and I'm the only healer right now.
Nope. Need more snipers.
Yep. Best mobile game. Monument Valley 2, Fire Emblem Heroes, Super Mario Run, Old Man's Journey, which I've never heard of Old Man's Journey or Hidden Folks. But it goes to Monument Valley 2. Nice to see an award go to not Nintendo for once.
Tomorrow Run wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, I think the rest of these categories are smaller categories.
Yeah.
So just list off the winner.
All right. Yeah. Samus Returns is best handheld game. Best VR, it goes to Resident Evil 7, which is nice that it's like an actual,
It's a full game, yeah.
full game. Best action game. Well, this one I'll go with the other ones. We got Wolfenstein 2, Prey, Neo, Destiny 2, Cuphead, and it goes to Wolfenstein 2. Like Neo is a game that unfortunately people stopped talking about it because it came out so early in the year. And I remember when people played it, they're like, "Oh, this is potentially game of the year," even though it was January. And Prey, I heard a lot of people talk about it on release, but like after that, there was just so many good games this year.
Yeah.
Best action adventure, winner is Zelda. There's this Uncharted Lost Legacy, Assassin's Creed Origins, Mario Odyssey, and Horizon Zero Dawn. Best role playing game goes to Persona 5. Best fighting game goes to Injustice 2. Family game, a bunch of Nintendo games and one Sega game. It goes to the Nintendo game. Best strategy game goes to Mario Rabbids. Best multiplayer game goes to PUBG.
I like that you
And
skipped over racing.
shh. And I think that's it. Nothing else really worth going over, unless we want to talk about best student game. The best game that no one played.
Yeah.
All right. So those were the the most of the categories for the game awards. I mean, we got a ton of repeats. It seemed like a lot of the same games over and over and over. But at least all of them seem like they're universally people agree that they're good games. Like I don't hear people like dispute that these are bad games. So at least that. And yeah, anything you guys want to add?
No, not really.
Nope.
All right. Cool. So with that said, well, one thing that didn't get nominated this year, but should have got nominated every year.
What is it, Staffa?
For ongoing amazingness. And that is DreamHost. Because they're a web service that offers unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface. They are also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress and many more features. All that just for $7.95 a month. And if you use the promo code OutItContinues or whatever way to set fee and get you a free domain registration. So yeah, with that said, I have a couple announcements. So the first announcement, this is a big announcement. I decided I'm going to start making the podcast bi-weekly instead of weekly. When I first started doing the podcast, I was doing it bi-weekly because I wasn't sure if I was able to commit to weekly, and I felt like bi-weekly was too slow for me, so I did start doing weekly. And for the most part, I was able to keep up with weekly, but at this point, it's starting to become difficult again to continue doing a weekly podcast. Work is getting very time consuming, especially with next year, and we're gonna be in crunch, and um, I'm gonna have like no time at all. So it's gonna be really difficult at that point to do weekly. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do bi-weekly at that point or not. I might have to take a break. I even considered just ending the podcast with episode 300. I was thinking, okay, should this be the last one? And I don't know. Overall, like I feel like I still want to keep doing this, despite it being difficult to find time to do it and also find a guest host to record with me. I still want to continue doing the podcast, so I'm going to do bi-weekly. I mean, on top of work, I have other changes happening next year that will also cause my schedule to be tougher to record. But I think I can still do it for now, for the time being. If I do start thinking about ending the podcast, I'll definitely make that announcement ahead of time rather than like, oh, this is gonna be the last one. Ta-da! Bye. Um, I mean, I really enjoy doing the podcast. That's why I do it. I make no money off of this. So I don't do this because of the money. I make zero money. In fact, it costs me money to do this.
Negative money.
Yeah, I spend money to do this. I have to spend money on the domain. I I've spent money on the equipment. I spend my time to do this. So I make zero money off of this. So it's not because I do this for the money. I do this because I enjoy it. So yeah. So I want to thank everybody who has supported us. 300 episodes. Been doing this for over 6 years. And I would like to continue doing this, but realistically, with like how busy I'm getting and busy my friends are getting, it's tough to do this weekly. So I'm going to see how well a bi-weekly schedule will be, and yeah, I think it should be better for my life to do this bi-weekly.
Yeah.
On top of that, iTunes. We can use more iTunes reviews. If you use iTunes, please leave a review. It's one of the single most helpful things you could do for the podcast is to leave an iTunes review. If you can't leave an iTunes review for whatever reason, you can still help out the podcast by sharing the podcast on social media, like on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, wherever you like to talk to strangers online or friends online. Tell somebody and let them know that you listen to Out of Continuous podcast. I'd really appreciate the help. So let's move on to the news. And I'm going to screen share. And so the first news I have on here is there's some announcement, some trailers during the Game Awards. One being this really long 8-minute trailer from Death Stranding, the game that is being made by Kojima.
Kojima-san.
Yes.
Kojima-san.
So this trailer made me say, what the heck, out loud. Especially the part with the baby, like when it zoomed into his throat.
Yeah,
I was like, what is happening to me?
The baby was, for me, also the weird part. Even with the first trailer that they ever showed when they announced the game for the first time, like the baby was the weird part for me. I mean, like everything else is also really weird, but there's a tangible understanding of the fact that those are like it's weird phenomenon that are happening that these people are trying to avoid. But then when they show the baby, it's just there's so little indication of what the baby is there for and what purpose it serves.
Seems supernatural. The baby.
Yeah. So it's even with this new trailer that they showed at the Game Awards, like everything else that was weird was also just really intriguing, and it actually made me come up with ideas of what these monsters are or what's going on in the world. And then they show the baby, I'm just at a loss of any kind of thought. I'm just like, I don't know what to think about when it comes to this baby.
Overall, it seems very like Cthulhu horror-ish.
Yeah.
With like just strange things happening. This big creature that is like human shaped but not human. Like just towering over and just all sorts of weird stuff happening that are just some nightmare scenario craziness.
I thought that was the cool part for me. Just like all the really weird supernatural stuff that was going on, stuff that you really haven't seen elsewhere. I mean, invisible creatures is one thing, but then having like, these guys are holding their breaths and stuff like that to avoid being detected, and like the weird technology that they have, like the little like blinking thing, it's just it was a really interesting like just setup. I don't know. It was really cool.
So I saw an article on GameSpot saying one of the Sony executives said that the game will start making sense 4 to 5 hours after 4 to 5 hours of gameplay.
I wonder how long the whole game is. Is it? I mean,
well, considering Kojima, it probably is 4 to 5 hours of gameplay, but
I was gonna say it's probably like
an additional 10 hours of FMG or a
like,
full another 10 hours of video.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
So that I really don't have much to say other than it was super weird and it just seemed like nightmare fuel. Like from whatever's killing them or going after them. I mean, whatever's getting them has to be so bad that they're wanting to kill themselves.
Yeah, that was the part that really made me like vocally say something about like this guy was being pulled up, and like it was one thing to see him shoot the other guy as he was being dragged away.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's like an act of mercy almost. Like you're understanding that that person's going to suffer, but then to have the ability to kill yourself, not just with like it wasn't even a gun. He was taking this knife and just stabbing himself.
Yeah, the way
times.
he tried to he tried to shoot himself first, and then but the thing.
The gun was gone. Yeah.
And then he pulled out his knife, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but when he started stabbing himself, his little light on his wrist started changing color from blue to like green to yellow, orange, and then red.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
With every single stab that he took, I was like, huh, that's interesting.
That's like the life meter.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they're gonna do a lot of I forgot the exact name of this type of UI, but like how in Dead Space, how his life was kind of shown on the back of his suit.
Yeah. On the spine.
On the spine. And I wonder if they're gonna do something like this too, where the lights on your suit or some physical indication is gonna show your health as opposed to having an actual health bar or even doing like that on-screen effect of the blood or whatever.
Like a minimalist HUD.
Yeah, there's actually a name for that. I think there's like diegetic UI and non-diegetic UI or something like that. And it's the idea of having UI elements that physically exist in the space that could potentially be realistic. And so if those lights are tied into biometric meters and scanners to show health signs and just levels of various bodily functions. So I think that's a really cool idea if they actually do that. I think it really would help with immersion if there's less less overlay UI and more in-world UI, that would definitely add a lot of immersion and just a lot of depth to that gameplay as well.
Like, even though that game or that trailer had no gameplay, like it definitely got me more hyped for it. Because the first one, I was just like, okay, whatever, it's just weird Kojima stuff. But this one's like, you
More
get
weird Kojima stuff.
yeah, well,
But
more
this
weird
one actually kind of, yeah, this one indicated a little bit more story
yeah,
and
more
world
of
building.
type stuff. What's going on? A little bit more of the supernatural and what they're trying to
Yeah.
avoid, and him standing on the edge of destruction.
Yeah.
Uh, what the prophets once said. You guys don't recognize? Standing on the edge
No,
No.
no,
of
I missed
destruction,
that.
like the prophets once said. Anyway, and I don't know if you noticed it, but Kojima was in that trailer too.
Yeah,
Did
I
he?
think they mentioned that him and one other person made like a cameo.
Was he the guy who floated down?
No, he was the guy that was I think the guy that got disintegrated. Maybe no,
Oh.
like you can see like his head like in like the black goop, like just the top half of his head. You could tell because it's his hair and his glasses
Hmm.
is black goop.
Well, Guillermo del Toro was in the previous trailer, the one with Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember. He was holding something. And he was like running around in the sewer with his greasy heart.
Oh,
That's a reference to his tweet saying something about his greasy heart. I can't remember why he said that though.
the greasy.
But yeah. So Death Stranding. Is there a release date on this game?
No,
No release window.
not yet.
ETA is future.
Sometime after today
When it's done.
when it's done. Yep.
All right. Um, Witchfire was another game that was announced. This is by the Astronauts, who made Ethan Carter, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, like former people who worked with People Can Fly. They worked on Bulletstorm and what's that other game? Can't remember what it's called. That other game that has to do with hell and shooting. Painkiller.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't play that
So
game.
I mean, it's basically like Doom, where it's a run and gun game and demons. So I didn't beat Painkiller. It was too hard. I got to this giant boss and it was too difficult. But Bulletstorm is a really cool game. I like that. And I did not like Vanishing of Ethan Carter. Kevin and I like debated about this on the podcast before, and we both have differing views on it. I mean, I agree that it's a beautiful looking game, but I felt like the game design, the level design was not very good. While you thought it was brilliant, but that's because you like to just explore everything anyways.
Yeah, I thought it was really intriguing, just the way that the level was created, and yeah, just from what I saw from the video and not actually having played it, I thought it looked really cool, just the way that it was set up.
Yeah. But I mean, this looks more, run and gun shooter. So it looks like it's similar to what they've done before with Bulletstorm. And I mean, it looks beautiful. It looks better than Ethan Carter. So
Oh yeah.
really good looking game. Looks like it's a run and gun shooter. Like I don't know what type of setting it is, but it's like runes with undead stuff. So I'm interested. I mean, I think they're a good developer. You guys have anything to say about this?
Nope.
No, I mean it looked good, but you know, it looks like one of those things that's very gameplay oriented. So I'd like to play it before I could, make a passing judgment on it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about this game that popped up on Steam recently that's for free. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Free game. You can download it right now. Came out earlier this week. Look how friendly it looks. With this 8-bit graphics, looking like an Atari game, and you get to simulate running a pizzeria. Very friendly, very cute, very family game. It's all a ruse. So
It's a trap.
Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, I guess he's trolling his fans by releasing this. So basically, he released this, put these screenshots and a video, and put it as free. But once you download it, it's actually Five Nights at Freddy's 6. So I thought that was pretty funny that he actually. I've expressed my opinions on him kind of like running Five Nights at Freddy's to the ground with so many sequels within a short period of time. But the fact that he's like, okay, I'm going to put this game out for free and disguise it as a pizza tycoon, then I thought that was pretty funny. It's clever. He trolled his
Doesn't Steam
fans.
have a policy regarding posting images that aren't representative of the gameplay?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if people reported him, then it's probably it'll probably get taken down. But I'm pretty sure his fans.
It says free, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I see that right there. So maybe I don't know.
I'm pretty sure his fans appreciate it. Plus he's not selling it, so.
And just imagine people getting this game. This looks nothing like the screenshots. I want a refund.
Pull this down. I've been bamboozled.
I want my free money back.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the new Portal game that isn't Portal. So new Portal game is announced as crossover with Bridge Constructor. There's a short little trailer, and it says it'll be out early. So it's going to be out on PC and mobile December 20th, so pretty soon, in 10 days from today, and with console versions early 2018. So yeah, I mean it's basically Bridge Constructor, but with like a Portal theme, with like the turrets and the portals and the gels and all that stuff. So not quite the Portal game I want. What's that?
Kind of looks cool though.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Yeah.
I mean, not quite the Portal game I want, but it still looks cool.
I like the idea of incorporating the portals into a bridge puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something that I'm going to enjoy. I'm going to definitely give it a try.
Yeah. And I mean, I know people are going to come up with crazy bridge GIFs and they're going to post it on Reddit.
Yep.
It's going to happen. So let's move on. Let's talk about Bayonetta 3. It got teased. It's going to be on Nintendo Switch, and also Bayonetta 1 and 2 will be ported over to Switch because nobody had a Wii U.
Yeah.
So
it's good that it's coming though.
Yeah, I mean, from at this point, it seems like Bayonetta is a Nintendo property. I mean, like they don't own it, but they've been funding the games. They've been publishing. They published Bayonetta 2, and they funded it. And obviously they're doing the same thing with Bayonetta 3. So if you're a Bayonetta fan, you gotta get yourself a Switch. They didn't really show anything other than a short tease. You got to tease before you please.
That's not family friendly, Staffa.
What are you talking about? Got to please them with Bayonetta 3. And you got to tease them first.
Uh-huh.
How's that not family friendly?
Cause Bayonetta.
Well, she has more clothes this time. She doesn't get buck naked any
I don't
longer.
believe you.
All right. Moving on. Let's talk about PlayStation Experience, the stuff that's been announced.
Sean Layden.
What stuff?
Sean
What
Layden.
stuff? What's that?
Sean Layden.
Sean Layden. Yeah, let's talk about Sean Layden. Is this Sean Layden?
Sean Layden. Yes, it is.
All right. So what all do you want to talk about with this, Ali?
So I should probably open up the link myself. Sean Layden. I'll just repeat Sean Layden until I open it.
Yeah. So I mean, they said
So,
God of
yeah,
War is going to be a long game.
Yeah,
It's gonna be 35
they
to
did
40
say that
hours.
it's like 35 to 48 hours, yeah, something like that. They
Oh,
announced that Wipeout My Collection's getting a free VR update. I don't know why they say VR mod. It's just an update to do VR. Anyway, I don't really care about Detroit Become Human right now, so I'll just skip that.
I think it
I'm
looks
excited
cool.
about that one.
I mean, like the more I see about it, the less I want to play. They need to stop showing me stuff. Stop putting it in front of my eyes.
You don't like David Cage?
David.
David.
By the way, if you hear my daughter screaming in the background, I'm sorry.
I love her.
Yeah, she's having fun, I guess.
She's excited to be on episode 300.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, Medieval is getting remastered for PS4, which I think is very interesting.
So is this a remaster or a remake? It looks like a remake.
Remake. That's what. Yeah, I don't know why I said remastered.
Well, because they wrote remaster.
It says remastered.
It's a complete remake. So they're doing that. They said basically they did Ratchet and Clank, they did Crash Bandicoot, and then now they're doing Medieval. So that'll be interesting. That's next year, I believe. They're adding VR to Last Guardian. That'll be interesting. I think I haven't played Last Guardian.
That's what that game was missing.
Yep.
It's missing.
I think it'd be interesting to see, something that big in VR, like have to deal with that perspective.
Something that ugly in VR.
Exactly. Mega Man will be in Monster Hunter World.
And he looks adorbs.
Yeah. He looks like in Pixel. What is not Pixel? 3D Pixel. What was that game that they had on PS3?
3D Pixel Dot Heroes.
Yeah, that game. Yes. He looks like that design. Looks kind of weird, but sure, why not? My big thing is that they'll be able to. He said you'll probably be able to change your PSN name in the next year. Within the next year. I don't know why they said maybe in this article because they made it sound like it was happening.
I really hope so because I want to change my PSN name.
My PSN name isn't too bad, but I'd like to just make it similar to my other profile names that I have.
Yeah, I want to change mine to be Staffa 420 Blaze It.
Blaze It 69, there you go.
Forgot to add YOLO in there as well.
YOLO swag.
XXX.
Hashtag never Trump. I don't know.
Oh, I'm already tired of my PSN ID. I'm ready for it to change. I need to be Big Papa Staffa. Well, yeah, they didn't say it was going to be for like a cost or anything, but I'm assuming they'll charge money for it, like $10 or something. Because that's
or
what
do like a
does.
time or something like that.
like the way how Microsoft does it is you can change it once for free, but then after that it's like $10
Yeah.
because they want to make money. So yeah. And that's it for video game news.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a few non-video game news, non-video game trailers we want to talk about. First one being Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So this trailer dropped yesterday. This is Sony's Spider-Man movie because Sony still has the rights for Spider-Man on the big screen, and like they've announced it before that they were going to be making a 3D animated um Spider-Man movie, and this is also going to be separate from the Spider-Man that's in the MCU. It's not connected. Well, I guess it is connected, but not directly connected because this is Into the Spider-Verse. So I'm assuming this is going to be like the first of many movies that will be part of the Spider-Verse storyline, which the Spider-Verse storyline was it took like they did it I think it was 2015. It was like the same year that I moved from uh Indianapolis before I moved cross country. So it was like right before I moved, they were doing Into the Spider Verse, and basically there was like it was like every Spider Man from like every version of Spider Man is in their own universe, and like they were all teaming up together to fight like these um interdimensional vampires that basically hunt Spider-Man because uh, they like get more powerful when they feed off of Spider-Man specifically, or people that are of the spider totem, something like that. I can't remember, but so yeah, they were hunting Spider-Man, and so like the Peter Parkers that were smart enough to make interdimensional travel like teamed up to get the other Spider-Man, and I'm assuming this has to do with that because it says Into the Spider-Verse, and it's focusing on Miles Morales, which is a newer character. Like he's been around for like 10 or so years in the comics, and he's half black, half Hispanic, I think. And you know, different character than Peter Parker. So it's nice to see a Spider-Man on the big screen that
I
isn't
think the
going to.
megaton is that he's 10 years old.
What's that?
I think the megaton here is that he's 10 years old. I'm
Oh well, I thought he
joking.
was like 13, but
Because you said he's been in comics for 10 years.
oh, you're bamboozling me. But either way, he's younger. He's like 13 or something like that. But um, the fact that we're getting a Spider-Man movie without Uncle Ben getting shot and great responsibility being told to us for the 50th time is going to be good. I mean, like they didn't do that in the last Spider-Man movie, but still, it's like we don't need to see Peter Parker's story again.
Yeah.
So I guess, oh, what I said earlier about like this being indirectly connected with the MCU is, with it being Spider-Verse. So maybe they might have a connection with that, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to avoid having Tom Holland's voice in there. But I mean, the art style looks really cool. I really like it. Though I'm not really a big fan of the frame rate. One of my coworkers said, "Oh, it makes it look like it's stop motion." I didn't really get that vibe, but the style does look pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the frame rate thing is all about, but yeah, the stylization and the shading looks really cool though.
Yep. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that 80s synthwave vibe they had in the trailer.
Hmm. And for like a brief moment, there's a scene where Spider-Man was chasing Prowler, who is a villain in he's like a I don't know, D-list villain in the Spider-Man universe, and Prowler is Miles Morales' uncle, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be like a prominent character. And then the end of the movie, he's going to unmask Prowler and see that it's his uncle, and then his world will get shattered. And I just spoiled it for you. That's the whole movie.
Spoilers.
Yep. Um, Danny Glover, who was in the last Spider-Man movie for like one scene, his character is supposed to be Prowler. So
Mm.
at least the character's name. But yeah. You guys have anything you want to say about this? Because I talked about this for a little bit.
No, I
No.
mean, it looks cool. I want to see it.
Christmas of next year. So over a year wait for this. That's a pretty long time.
It was a long time.
All right. From one black superhero to another. Black Lightning, CW's newest
I
superhero.
stopped caring about CW.
Yeah, I haven't watched anything from them in a long time.
Me neither. Like one of my friends was telling me to go back to them. He was like, "Oh, it got
No,
good again," and
nope.
I was like, no thanks."
Fool me once, shame on
And
you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
and I watched this trailer for Black Lightning, and it didn't really do anything for me. I didn't get excited at all. It just seemed like another one of those shows with
Yep.
nothing really different about it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Jessica Jones season 2.
Yep.
The trailer doesn't really show anything other than Jessica Jones, and it's March 8th. So a few months away.
Yep.
I have high expectations for this. I like the first season. Anything you guys want to add?
Nope.
All right. And the final trailer. The trailer to end all trailers.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
Yep.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
The Infinity War. So this was like
Ba-da-ba-ba.
number one in trending for multiple days on YouTube.
Yeah. And I try with great intent to avoid all Marvel trailers. That's why I haven't seen this one.
Okay. So March 4th of next year. May the 4th be with Iron Man. I don't know. I mean, Marvel has always released a movie on the weekend of Free Comic Book Day, which is the first Saturday of May. So, I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
It's that weekend, and it looks really good. Um, this from what they've been saying, this is going to be Thanos's movie. Like he's the main character, uh, rather than like all the other characters. I mean, there's a lot of characters in this trailer, and that's not even everybody.
Yeah.
And but it doesn't feel like there's too many characters. Like the way how they have the scene shot in this trailer, it does not feel like we're being overwhelmed by all these characters. Um, and I think primarily because they don't have them by themselves. Like it's not like, oh, here's an Iron Man scene. Like they have like multiple characters together. And like I said, they're going to be focusing on making this a Thanos movie. And from the trailer, it looks like it's a Thanos trailer. Like they're focusing on him, and he seems pretty cool.
Yeah. That'd be
Um,
cool to see him on the big screen for the first
yeah,
time. Other than just being teased, of course.
yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully we don't get bamboozled again like they did with Ultron. Like in the Ultron trailer, it looked like it was gonna be like a large focus on him, and I was like, oh, he looks so awesome. But then like the movie just wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of hype behind this, and also this is like the end of like the their current like phase, whatever, like they had the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, um and like phase 3 is like the end of like their current run with the superheroes, because a lot of the superheroes that they, or a lot of the actors that they have playing the superheroes have been doing it for a long time. Contracts are ending. They're gonna start new superheroes at this, like with Captain Marvel. They're gonna have her movie after this one. So uh, I'm pretty sure they're gonna kill off characters, like actually have them dead, because of the fact that uh, contracts are ending, and I'm assuming Tony Stark is gonna die because they've been wanting to get rid of him for a while, Robert Downey Jr., because they pay him so much money, and they don't like paying him all that money. Because for those who don't know, he has a special contract due to him being a huge risk, because he was an alcoholic, and what was he was on other drugs as well, right?
For a
Um,
while, yeah.
yeah, he went through rehab, and he was a drug addict. So they felt like it was a big risk to have him as an actor. So they their contract with him was a percentage rather than a fixed amount. And since the movies did so well, the percentage ended up being a larger amount of money than it would have been if they gave him a fixed amount.
Yeah.
So so the risk ended up them trying to play it safe ended up costing them more money. So they've been wanting to get rid of him for a while. Plus, Robert Downey Jr. has been saying that he's getting older, and these action movies are harder for him to do at this point. It's more exhausting for him, and you can kind of tell that they've been doing shortcuts with him lately, because like in um, Spider-Man: Homecoming. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when he's like, they never actually had him wearing the Iron Man suit. Like when he walks out of a suit, when he got out of a suit, like he just walked out of it, like it opened up completely. Um, like they never actually had him wearing a suit, which I mean, I
Yeah.
imagine that's one of the things that is exhausting. Just putting on that suit, taking hours to get it on.
Yeah.
So yeah, they want him out, he wants out, so I'm assuming he's going to die either in this one or the next, if next movie, because this is a two-parter. But yeah, what do you guys think about the trailer?
I mean, it looked good.
I haven't seen it, but I assume it's good.
Oh yeah, you said you didn't watch it.
Yeah,
But
I stopped watching Marvel movie trailers because they always give so much away. And
actually lately they've been doing the opposite. They have been putting stuff into the trailers that aren't even in the movies. Like um for example, with the Thor trailer, they had a scene with the four main characters standing side by side: Hulk, Thor, Loki, and Valkyrie. Like they're on the Rainbow Bridge, standing side by side, and that's not even in the movie at all. Like,
yeah, but at least it still like indicates certain aspects of what's going to happen.
and like the trailer with Spider-Man, there's a scene with Spider-Man and Iron Man are flying through the city side by side, which didn't even happen in the movie.
Mm.
Um, in the Civil War trailer, they cut out Spider-Man from the scenes that he would have been in, because it was showing like the character lineup of them facing each other uh airport. And
Okay.
like they completely removed him from there. So the trailers have been cut in a way lately where it's not really spoiling.
Okay. I'll still avoid them, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure there's stuff in this trailer that is probably not even in the movie. So, but regardless, I thought it was a really good trailer. I watched it a few times. I was hyped. And obviously a lot of people are hyped for, due to this being number one trending video for like almost the entire week that it was released. But yeah, May 4th. Get hyped. All right. Let's wrap things up. As I get my notes back in my face. There we go. Hello. So, we have lots of listener feedback due to this being episode 300. But since we're out of time, I'm not going to read any of it. Sorry, everybody. Write in again for next week. and if you want to write in to podcast@outofcontinues.com. That's podcast@outofcontinues.com. Send your questions, comments, any other feedback. Send it to us, and we'll read on the show next time. We had no feedback this week.
Don't reveal the secret.
So
manufacturer feedback.
So let's wrap things up. If you want to or if you enjoy what you've been hearing, you can support us by liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review, subscribe to Google Play Music, or you can contact by email us podcast@outofcontinues.com. Subscribe to YouTube channel, youtube.com/outofcontinues. All those things can be found on the website, www.outofcontinues.com. You can give me a tweet. I'm at SayedStafa. That's at SayedStafa. And actually, don't even tweet at me. I don't even use that too often. These guys use Twitter.
Ali, go ahead.
Oh, I thought, okay. I'll go. Phosphor 112, that is PHOSPHOR 112.
And I am at KS Trehan. That's KSTREHAN.
Why
I'd
am
like
I
to
always first with Twitter, by the way?
Because you are.
Okay. 'Cause I did the most.
I'd like to thank my guest host for joining me today on episode 300. That's Kevin.
Thanks, Stafa.
Ali.
What's up?
Thank you for being on the show. And with that said, I'm your host, Stafa. I'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. I should be able to get a podcast out before I go on vacation the week after that weekend. So it should be doable. So new podcast in a couple of weeks. And see you guys then. Bye.
Peace.
And if you're watching us on YouTube, click here to subscribe. Click there for the previous episode. And click there for the episode before that.